Leary, and I would like this evening to welcome the Worshipful Mayor of Test Valley, Councillor Ian Carr, MBE, and his wife Beryl. And I would also like to introduce you all to the writer of this piece, Mr. Roy Chatfield. Would you like to come out, please, Roy? A short time of question and answer, and so I'm very happy to ask people to raise their hands and then ask the others to answer them, which seems like a very good plan to me. So shall I open it up now to the floor? Would anybody like to ask a question about the piece that Roy has written, or indeed anything about the show? Mr. Mayor, sir.
What happened to the beer they took to France?
Good God, you think?
Yes, over there.
How long did that take you to research and write?
Well, some of it was taken from a project we were going to do in Romsey, but in fact there was another project which was going to take place, but they didn't get the funding, so I recycled some of that. I would say, I'm just trying to think, research, it was probably about 9 months writing and research.
Yes, gentleman down here.
The Hampshire family who owned Basin House,
Yes.
their name was Paulette.
Yes.
I heard Paget.
Oh, it's one of those people, is it?
Moving on swiftly. Yes, Kat.
How do you decide what to leave out?
Oh, it's great difficulty, and there were some, I really couldn't, I was told that I had to cut it out, I really couldn't justify it. I wanted to include Lionel Tennyson because he's such a character, he's a complete, he was a captain, he was the only Hampshire cricketer to be captain of England. And he once sent a telegram to one of his batsmen telling him, "You're scoring too slowly, get out please." But he was also captain. One of the most unusual things happening in cricket, Hampshire were dismissed all out for 15 and they won the match. The only time that's happened was scoring 15.
You won for cricket. Any more questions?
Yes, there's one down at the front.
Okay, and there's another gentleman at the back. Yes? Who's that at the front? Oh, right at the front, yes.
I was going to say, this song, We'll Write the Future, did you have to change the lyrics, or was that the actual lyrics?
They were the lyrics which I believe you wrote, didn't you?
For what?
But it's the waltzing
It's
until
until the
Yes, it
tune.
was
Yes.
until.
You probably know the tune, don't you?
Yes.
But it's new lyrics that you
New
wrote.
lyrics, yes.
Yeah.
You wrote the lyrics, didn't
I
you?
wrote the lyrics,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah,
Roy wrote the lyrics. Yes, Victoria. Victoria.
When you did the Dame Cutting Head song,
Yes.
was that the original lyrics, or was
No, that was
No,
it.
it was originally called the Quartermaster Stall.
Yeah.
Yes, you know the song
Yeah.
well, don't you, Tobias? The Quartermaster Stores. There was somebody at the back, yes, at the back over there.
Thank you. Yes, I was wondering which skit, which event the actors most enjoy performing and why.
What did you say?
it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
there were so many.
Yeah. I think the ones where we get to sort of be the characters and sort of bounce off each other a little bit more. And they were the easier ones to learn as well, because obviously it's quite a lot of facts which you have to.
Yeah.
My favourite bit was I quite like the boxing match.
Yeah.
I quite like the Thomas Johnston stuff.
Yeah.
Because I get to really be in a character, that's good fun.
And Nick?
Mate, I hate to say this, but Florence Nightingale.
Can I turn it around and ask you, sir, which was your favourite part?
I enjoyed the more recent stuff because I think perhaps like many people here, I could relate to it, and it was more, it was something that perhaps I knew a little bit about, but it's always interesting to learn stuff that I knew nothing about. So thank you for the earlier stuff, when we knew something, we got to know about it.
Absolutely. Anybody else got a question? Somebody right at the back there, yes?
I understand you're taking this into schools.
Yeah.
What sort of response do you get from the students?
Well, I'll answer that one. We've been into 2 schools so far, a village school and a town school. In a computer room the first time with a class of children of 25, and we've been today with double that number, 58, in a much larger setting. And I've been having a sneaky look as I've been sorting out the music, because I'm doing the music in the schools, and I can assure you there have been beams of smiles on the children's and the teachers' faces, and they've been most attentive, and the feedback so far has been extremely positive. They have enjoyed it. They may not necessarily know all of the history involved, but they know enough to latch on. I actually use my digital voice recorder, and I must warn you now, ladies and gentlemen, I shall be in the bar afterwards, and if you have any constructive comments, only nice ones please, I would be very happy to record them if you don't mind, for an evaluation. But the children listed the people that they knew, and they asked some very particularly this afternoon, I thought, there were some very interesting questions. They clearly had thought quite deeply. Probably the most difficult question that we had was one that Celia answered, when they actually wanted to know, nothing historical, but what was artistic license, please? Celia summed it up extremely nicely. So the feedback has been extremely good, and we're going into, I think, another 8 schools or settings from here. So we will be busy. Anybody else? Yes.
Let's ask one more question. Not a difficult one this time. Again, I guess to everyone, why do you feel that this particular play is particularly important? Why do you feel that Hampshire's history is important to get across to people?
I think the important thing is that to get the idea that that history is actually interesting, history is fun. I don't know how many people here actually like history. But for those that don't, how many of them had their interest killed by crop rotation? And Hampshire's history, because, shall I be honest? I'll be honest.
Do be honest.
If we did Hampshire's history, we might get some fun. We get funding from Hampshire County Council. I think I did see the. Yes, thank you very much.
And I'd just like to add, as a primary teacher, a lifelong primary teacher, before I stepped into this sphere, so to speak, I think it's really important, because it's enjoyment and humour that will reach children. And if you can communicate anything, it's all about communication. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you've had. If you can't communicate it to the young people involved, then you might as well give up. So for me, to make it humorous and to use some of the tools that perhaps I know most about as a primary teacher and a runner of a group that does pantomime regularly as well, I enjoyed being able to put those aspects into something that was meant to convey something stimulating and educational.
The other reason for doing it in Hampshire, of course, is that it does then give the children that actually things happened on their doorstep. Because what a Battle of Waterloo, that's a long way away. But if it happens actually, and they were getting burnt down by the Danes, that actually is a meaning.
Don't you think it's a good thing to have local history, because that instills that there's lots of things going on here that people don't realise about?
Oh yeah, there's lots of things here. And when you think about it, all history is local to somewhere.
I'm not sure if you're aware, as it happens, that Roy did a play, 3 years ago
3
now?
years ago, yes.
Which was specifically about Andover and the development or redevelopment, whichever way you view this, of Andover in the 1960s.
Yes.
And now we tell him.
Yes, but Sharon and Nick were in it.
Yes, we were. I was on the other side of the stage.
I'll ask a loaded question. How inspired were you by your volunteering work at the Andover?
I would say it's my history.
Please sell it. Please sell it.
Oh yeah, I would like to. Yes, of course. We do have an most excellent cool history museum in Andover. I didn't do the Iron Age because my interest is history much more than archaeology. I like it because history involves people. While if you go into archaeology, archaeology provides a lot of information which supports. It supports.
We can discuss that later.
Because if you look at, say, the 5th century AD, there's archaeology produces a lot of information to supplement the written record. But for me, the history that involves people and characters is more interesting. The thing that interests me most about history is actually cultural history. We're trying to decide which of us has the honour of introducing.
Should we do it together?
We will do it together, alternate words.
Mr. Yin.
Mr. Yin and Ezra, the chairman of Tess Valley Arts Foundation.
Well, I don't know. Were you taught history like that? This point about history being fun, as well as being something that you learn.
We can't hear.
What it's all about, isn't it?
Speak up. Speak up, please.
Congratulations. Done really well. I'm sorry, I'm not an actor. I haven't got an equity card. Anyway, I've got a few things to do, and that is basically to thank people, really. And all I can say is that the first thing I want to do is to thank the team of actors. The second is to say that this is, as mentioned, is the second play that we commissioned. The first one was Now We Tell Our Tale, which was something about Andover, and some of you I think may have seen it, because my goodness, it was so successful that we must have reprised it about 4 or 5 times, and it went around most of Andover's schools. And really, I mean, it's that style of bringing it to life is something that Roy does, and does in his fantastic way. And I mean, like you, I thought, well, how is he going to bring all of Hampshire's history to life? What's he going to leave out? What's he going to put in? But in the end, I think it's been an enjoyable and educational experience. And Roy, congratulations, and we have a little something for you. Of course, Sharon, our director, stepped in for John Baker, John Baxter, who was poorly. John is much better now, and so that you know, this gig has been filmed totally, so you should be able to get this on YouTube and all sorts of other things. So John is doing that. But Sharon, of course, brought this to life for us and stepped in when John couldn't do it, which was really brilliant. And again, thank you, Sharon, and I wish you the best of luck with the school programme.
Thank you very much.
Of course, we couldn't do this without the support of our sponsors and people who've actually put their hands in their pockets. And I'm going to list them, because if I don't, I'll A, be shot, and B, I think they really do need a round of applause themselves. Be Wiser Insurance. Interestingly, Be Wiser also helped support the last play, and they are really committed, and Kat's here, I mean, they're really committed to creative writing. I think over the last 5 years, and it was an introduction from Councillor, one of our councillors, they really are committed to actually supporting creative writing, and I think it's really, really good that we have a private sector company in Andover which is actually supporting writing, which is brilliant. They've been doing it now for some years, so I'm really pleased about that. Of course, there's Test Valley Borough Council, there's Hampshire County Council, and the leaders here, Roy Perry and his wife Veronica, and we were pleased to that. And of course, I'd like to thank all of my trustees at the Test Valley Arts Foundation. I also want to thank the Lights for providing their rehearsal space and the use of the arena. Lee Weiser again for the printing, Amy Wyatt and the Lights team for the poster design, John Baxter, Sue Messer, Heather Whittam and the Lights team for their support, the Lower Test Valley Archaeological Study Group for introducing us to Spitfire Modification XXX, which I think is something new. And finally, because you all want to get to the bar, I just want to say a quick word about our all-year festival 2020. Test Valley is called Test Valley 2020, the Borough of Culture. It's all about everyone, all over the valley, getting involved in something. We have a small amount of money, but we also have access to artists, to drop-in circuses, to anything you want to do in the valley. And we really want to have a screen, really, throughout the whole of 2020. Now we have a website, and we're looking for people all over the borough to come forward with ideas which they want to do in their own local community and have a great time. All right, there's no catch. We're really just interested in ideas and things that happen in places where maybe village halls are dark and they just want to come to life every once in a while. So that's what we want to do all through 2020. So have a look at the website, and we're waiting for ideas and things to come. And as Sharon and Roy and others have said, they'd be delighted if you want to join them in the bar and carry on this conversation. So thank you all very much for coming tonight, and have a very safe journey.